Fall leaves change colors. It's fall, and you can feel a chill in the air. All around you, the trees are beginning to change. In your backyard, in the park, and along country roads, trees are putting on their autumn colors. Their leaves are turning yellow, orange, tan, and red. In summer, most leaves are green. All summer long, something amazing is happening in those leaves. Take a closer look. They are taking in sunshine, air, and water, and they are making food for the trees. The green color in leaves is called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll helps leaves take in light from the warm summer sun. Leaves also have tiny openings for letting in air. From the air, leaves get a special gas called carbon dioxide. After a rain, the tree's roots take up water from the ground. Water moves into the leaves. Using light from the sun, green leaves can turn water and carbon dioxide into sugar. The sugar moves from the leaves to all parts of the trees. Sugar is the special food that makes trees live and grow. As summer ends, the days get shorter. The nights get longer. Autumn will be here soon. Leaves get less and less light each day. This tells the trees that it is time to stop making food. The leaves begin to die. The chlorophyll in the leaves fades away, and their color changes. Take a closer look. Each leaf loses its green coloring slowly. As the chlorophyll fades, other colors in the leaf begin to show. The leaves of some trees turn yellow or orange. The colors are in the leaves all summer, but the strong green of the chlorophyll hides them. The leaves of other trees turn red or purple. Sunny days and cool autumn nights make the sugar in the leaves turn red or purple. As the green coloring in the leaves fades, the color of the sugar shows through. A few types of trees have leaves that turn brown or tan. In these leaves, a coloring called tannin shows as their green coloring fades. Take a closer look. Trees whose leaves stay green all year are called evergreens. Most evergreens have tough, narrow leaves called needles. Evergreens shed their needles only a few at a time. Trees whose leaves change color lose all their leaves in autumn. As a leaf dies, the part of the stem that holds it to its branch gets weak. Chilly autumn winds make many leaves fly from their branches. Heavy rains make others fall. Under your feet, the ground is covered with a patchwork of beautiful colors. Over your head, the branches look dark and bare. The trees are ready for their winter rest. Tiny buds line the branches where the leaves once were. The buds are tough enough to stand the frosty winter. The buds protect the new green leaves that will unfold in spring. In the glossary, of this article are the words autumn, carbon dioxide, chlorophyll, roots, and tannin. They are the bold terms that may be new to third graders. Here's another little fall story. A Charlie Brown Thanksgiving by Charles M. Schulz. On Thanksgiving Day, Charlie Brown stood sadly at his mailbox, watching Snoopy walk off with a stack of mail, all for him. Sally came up and asked, "What's the matter, big brother?" "Nothing," Charlie Brown replied. "I was just checking the mailbox." "What did you expect?" Sally asked. "A turkey card?" Charlie Brown sighed. "Holidays always depress me." "I know what you mean," Sally said. "Why should I give thanks on Thanksgiving? What do I have to be thankful for?" Linus walked up and asked, "What's all the commotion?" "We've got another holiday to worry about," Charlie Brown grumbled. "Thanksgiving is here." "I haven't even finished my Halloween candy," Sally wailed. "Thanksgiving is important," Linus explained. "Our country was the first to make a national holiday to give thanks." Sally looked at Linus and sighed and said, "Isn't he the cutest thing?" When Charlie Brown and Sally went inside, the phone rang. It was Peppermint Patty. "Listen, Chuck, I have a treat for you," she said. "My dad's been called out of town. He said I can join you for Thanksgiving." Charlie Brown didn't know what to say. "Well, if I don't mind inviting myself because I know you kind of like me, Chuck," Peppermint Patty continued. "Okay, it's a date," Peppermint Patty said. "See you soon, you sly devil." "Oh, brother," Charlie Brown said, "Peppermint Patty's coming to Thanksgiving dinner." "We won't even be home," Sally pointed out. "We'll be at Grandma's." The phone rang. It was Peppermint Patty again. "Hi, Chuck," she said. "Listen, I have even greater news. Remember the kid Marcy? Her folks said it would be okay if she joined us, so you can count on 2 for dinner, Chuck." Charlie Brown said, "Well, the problem is," but Peppermint Patty talked right over him. "Don't worry, Chuck. We won't make problems. We'll help clean up dishes and everything. Just save me a drumstick and the neck. See you, Chuck." Charlie Brown hung up the phone. "How do I get myself into these things?" he wailed. "Now she's bringing Marcy, too." "It's your own fault for being so wishy-washy," Sally said. And before Charlie Brown could argue, Peppermint Patty called back yet again. This time, she invited Franklin to dinner, too. "I'm doomed!" Charlie Brown exclaimed. 3 guests for Thanksgiving, and I'm not even going to be home. Peppermint Patty will hate me for the rest of my life." But Linus had a solution. "Why not have 2 dinners? You cook the first one for your friends, then go to your grandmother's for the second one." "But I can't cook," Charlie Brown said. "All I can make is cold cereal and toast." Linus was sure they could do it with a little help. He told Snoopy, "Go to the garage and get a table for the backyard." Snoopy saluted, sharp as a soldier. The world's most brilliant beagle was on the case. As Woodstock fluttered above him, Snoopy dragged a ping-pong table out of the overflowing garage. As soon as Snoopy opened the table, it snapped shut. He was trapped inside. Snap! When the beagle broke free, so did a ping-pong paddle and ball. Snoopy hit the ball, then bounced over the net so fast that he returned his own serve. Snoopy played against himself until he accidentally knocked Woodstock out. Linus walked up just in time to see the end of Snoopy's game. "We don't have time to play," Linus scolded. Snoopy blushed. Woodstock was awake again, but seeing stars. "We still need some chairs around the table," Linus said, directing. Once again, Snoopy bravely battled his way through the stuffed garage. A lawn chair proved even tougher to unfold than the ping-pong table. Finally, Snoopy got everything under control. He even put a tablecloth on the ping-pong table. Then it was time to start cooking. With the precision of an army, Charlie Brown, Linus, Snoopy, and Woodstock used every toaster they could to make a big stack of buttered toast. The friends popped corn and opened bags of chips, pretzels, and jelly beans. Next, Snoopy set the table. He dealt the plates like a deck of cards and expertly folded the napkins into cute little teepees. Yikes! One of the teepees moved. Snoopy carefully lifted the napkin and found Woodstock. Ding dong! The doorbell rang. Peppermint Patty, Marcy, and Franklin arrived. They followed Charlie Brown to the table in the backyard. "Say, Chuck, this looks like quite a spread," said Peppermint Patty. "I bet this is one Thanksgiving dinner we'll never forget." Snoopy carried out a big domed platter. "Aren't we going to say grace before we're served, Chuck?" Peppermint Patty asked. "It's Thanksgiving," she pointed out. Charlie Brown wasn't sure what to do. Linus came to the rescue. He stood up and gave a speech. In the year 1621, the Pilgrims had their first Thanksgiving feast. They invited the great Indian chief Massasoit, who brought 90 of his brave Indians and great abundance of food. Governor William Bradford and Captain Miles Standish were honored guests. Elder William Brewster, who was a minister, said a prayer that went something like this: "We thank God for our homes and our food and our safety in a new land. We thank God for the opportunity to create a new world for freedom and justice." Peppermint Patty added, "Amen." And with that, Snoopy lifted the lid to reveal their feast. He shuffled the toast like cards. They plunked a piece onto a paper plate. He added a pawful of popcorn, pretzel sticks, and jelly beans. Then he threw the plate like a frisbee across the table. Zoom, zoom, zoom! Plates flew to each guest. Peppermint Patty stared in amazed disappointment. "What kind of Thanksgiving is this?" she asked. "Don't you know anything about cooking a real Thanksgiving dinner, Chuck? Where's the turkey? Where's the mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, and pumpkin pie? What blockhead made all this?" Charlie Brown slunk away from the table, feeling even lower than he did after losing a baseball game. Marcy turned to Peppermint Patty. "You were kind of rough on Charles, weren't you, sir? Did he invite you to dinner, or did you invite yourself?" "I never thought of it like that," Peppermint Patty added. "Do you think I hurt Chuck's old feelings? Golly, why can't I act right outside of a baseball game?" Peppermint Patty convinced Marcy to apologize for her. When Marcy found Charlie Brown inside the house, she said, "Don't feel bad, Charles. Peppermint Patty didn't mean all those things she said. Actually, she really likes you." "I don't feel bad for myself," Charlie Brown explained. "I'm just sorry I ruined everyone's Thanksgiving." "But Thanksgiving is more than eating, Charles. You heard what Linus said. The Pilgrims were thankful, and we should be thankful for just being together," Marcy said. Peppermint Patty had been listening from the doorway. She came in and offered Charlie Brown her hand. "There are enough problems in the world already without these silly misunderstandings. Suddenly she grinned. "Why, you're holding my hand, you sly dog!" Bong, 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 bong. The clock chimed. "Good grief! 4 o'clock already! We're supposed to be at Grandmother's house at 4:30, Charlie Brown said, fretting. "I better call her and explain my dilemma." Charlie Brown picked up the phone. "Hello, Grandma? This is Charlie Brown. We're going to be a little late." Then he explained about his friends still being there. "No, ma'am, they haven't eaten. As a matter of fact, they've let me know that in no uncertain terms." Then Charlie Brown heard some wonderful news. Marcy announced it to the rest of the gang. "We're all invited to Charlie Brown's grandmother's for Thanksgiving dinner." The kids all cheered. Soon the whole gang, except for Snoopy and Woodstock, piled into the back of the station wagon. In the car, the kids sang, "Over the river and through the woods to Grandmother's house we go. The horse knows the way to carry the sleigh through the white and drifting snow." Charlie Brown interrupted the happy tune. "There's only one thing wrong with that," Linus asked. "What's that, Charlie Brown?" "My grandmother lives in a condominium." But then he realized that it doesn't matter where you eat Thanksgiving dinner, whether it's at a condo or a doghouse. It will always be special when you share the feast with friends.